All right, so Barcelona. All right, it's calling your name. And you're not just here for the postcards, are you? You want the good stuff, the insider secrets.
Exactly. The stuff most guidebooks miss.
Well, get ready, because this deep dive is going to have you navigating Barcelona like a local. We've got a treasure trove of sources today. Practical guides, transportation deep dives.
We even have an award-winning library.
Yeah, you're going to see libraries aren't just about dusty books anymore.
Yeah.
But first, how about a boat ride down the Rambla?
A boat ride down La Rambla.
You heard right. It's called the Bus Nautic. It's one of those things that make you say, why didn't I think of that?
It's a fantastic example of how cities are finding creative solutions, especially with tourism booming again after, well, you know.
Right, and think about it. Would you rather walk La Rambla in a crowd for 30 minutes or cruise down in like 10?
In an eco-friendly catamaran, no less.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not hooked into the public transport system yet. But hey, things change fast in Barcelona.
They do. It really shows you how cities are always evolving, trying to blend innovation with practicality. Speaking of innovation...
You're totally setting me up for this library, aren't you?
Well, when a library wins a global award for its design, you know it's got to be something special.
All right, so this is the Gabriel García Márquez Library. And I'll admit, when I first saw pictures, I thought it was some futuristic movie set. It's all sleek and modern, but made of wood.
And it's named after Gabriel García Márquez, the famous author who actually lived in Barcelona.
I mean, talk about connecting with a city's literary history. It's not just a library, it's an experience.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? Those unexpected connections. Speaking of connections, let's talk about how to connect the dots of this amazing city.
We've got a couple of sources here, Picing Eye Transport and Guia General. And they lay out the transportation basics. You've got your metro, your buses.
Don't forget those charming trams.
Right. So that's your reliable backbone for getting around Barcelona.
Efficient, and they'll get you to most of the main attractions. But then it gets really interesting.
You're talking about bicing.
Among other things, yes.
Yeah, I thought this book sharing program sounded amazing. Hop on a bike, explore at your own pace.
It sounds idyllic, doesn't it?
But then I learned it's really for residents only, right?
Yeah.
With those annual passes and all.
Well, it's primarily for locals. BUT, and this is important. Your sources highlight something crucial. There are tons of private bike rental options specifically for visitors.
Phew, that's good to know.
Just as convenient and perfect for getting around.
Oh, and don't forget those electric scooters. They're everywhere.
Everywhere. We even have recommendations for specific companies. Ecultra, Go. Talk about options.
So many options. But you know what's not a good option in Barcelona? Something even guidebooks get wrong.
Let me guess. Renting a car.
Bingo.
Yeah, between the traffic, the parking, just don't do it. Stick with that awesome public transport we talked about.
Speaking of public transport, let's talk about this T-mobilitat system. I got to be honest, when I first read about it...
Head spinning a little.
A little. New cards, different ticket types.
It's a change, for sure. But once you get the hang of it, you'll be whizzing through those metro turnstiles like a pro.
Okay, so for someone visiting Barcelona, break it down for us.
The key is the anonymous T-mobilitat card. It's like your golden ticket to ride all the public transport in Barcelona.
And we're not just talking boring old buses here.
Well, they have buses too. But you're right, we've got sleek metros, those charming trams. You mentioned funiculars earlier. Did you know those are basically like mini railways?
Oh yeah, they're awesome. They take you up these steep hills. Amazing views. Sorry, sometimes I forget not everyone is as obsessed with Barcelona as I am.
Don't worry about it. Anyway, the T-mobilitat. You can grab one of those anonymous cards from any metro station machine. Super easy. Costs about 50 cents. Then you just load it up with whatever ticket type you need.
So most visitors will probably want the T-casual ticket.
That's the one.
10 journeys. Any transport within the city limits.
Except for the airport metro.
Right. That's a separate thing. But yeah, buses, metros, even a ride on one of those funiculars up Montjuic, all on the same ticket.
I know you're talking my language. That funicular ride. Don't miss it.
So this T-casual, it's good for 75 minutes, right? But here's the thing. Even if you're just switching between metro lines, say you're underground for like 20 minutes, just hopping between lines, you still have to validate every single time.
This is so important. I can't stress this enough. People get caught up in the moment, forget to validate, and bam, you've got a fine. Not fun.
No, not fun at all. But you know what is fun?
Tell me.
Saving money. And I found a little gem in our T-mobilitat source.
Yeah.
In 2024, that monthly pass, the T-usual, it's, get this, heavily discounted.
Yeah. Like potentially less than half price.
Yeah, I know. Normally it's around 42 euros. So if you're in Barcelona for a while, even just a week, do the math. Even if you're only using it for part of your trip.
Could save you a bundle compared to those 10 journey tickets.
Exactly. It's those little details that can make a big difference.
Always pays to do your homework.
Okay, so we've covered the ins and outs of getting around, but let's talk safety for a sec. Because our trusty Guia General brings up something important. Pickpockets.
Ah, yes. Sadly, it's something to be aware of.
I mean, Barcelona is generally super safe.
Right, it is. But those crowds, especially on public transport, that's where pickpockets tend to, well,
do their thing. So how do we avoid being a target?
Guia General had a great tip. Use those inner pockets, the ones that aren't so easy to get to.
Out of sight, out of mind, right?
Exactly. Plus, it stops you from constantly checking your pockets, which can actually draw attention.
That's a really good point. Okay, you ready for some rapid-fire insider tips?
Hit me.
First up, Las Ramblas.
Ah, yes. Iconic street, but resist those restaurants. They're tempting, but trust me, you'll get better food.
And better prices.
Exactly. By venturing off the beaten path a bit, those side streets are where the real gems are hidden.
Okay, next up, La Boqueria Market. It's an experience.
No doubt about it, but
yeah.
It's a bit of a tourist trap these days.
Right. So if you want something a little more authentic, a little less crowded,
tell me more.
Check out Mercat Santa Catarina or Mercat de Sant Antoni.
Now you're talking.
And just a little language tip. Remember, Barcelona is the city, Barca is the football team.
Easy mistake to make.
It happens. Okay, last one. And this is my personal favorite. When in Barcelona, always look down.
Because
the tile work. Yeah. Barcelona is famous for it, especially in the example district. It's like walking on a mosaic masterpiece.
You're so right. Those details, they really add something special.
Okay, so we've explored the heart of Barcelona, but you know what they say? A little change of scenery is good for the soul. And our Guia General has a whole section on day trips.
Always a good idea. Get out of the city for a bit. And with your newfound public transport mastery.
Right. I'm practically a local at this point.
You'll be planning train and bus routes like a pro. So many cool places to discover just outside Barcelona.
See, this is what I love about these deep dives. It's like, you think you've got a place figured out, and then bam, a whole new layer opens up. So where would you go if you could pick any day trip from this list?
Ooh, that's tough. There's Montserrat, that iconic monastery perched high up in the mountains.
Oh, I've seen pictures.
It's popular for a reason, really something else. But if you're looking for something a little more off the beaten path,
hit me.
Tossa de Mar. It's this charming little coastal town, medieval walls, turquoise waters, and way less crowded than some of those more famous beach towns.
Tossa de Mar. Okay, I'm adding that to my list right now.
And for the art lovers out there, you have to check out the Dali Theater Museum in Figueres.
Oh, right. Dali, it's like stepping into one of his paintings, right?
Something like that. Definitely an experience.
So many options.
The important thing is, find what speaks to you, what sparks your curiosity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this, right? This isn't just about following someone else's itinerary. It's about giving you the tools, the knowledge, so you can go out there and have your own Barcelona adventure.
And then come back and tell us all about it. We love hearing about the amazing things our listeners discover.
Exactly. Share your stories, share your photos.
Where Barcelona awaits.
Happy travels, everyone.